today. As you see, I'm using the last year's title here because the main idea actually survives. I'll explain why. So, first of all, I'd like to hear from some of you what this title reminds you of. Are there any ideas? Why do you think I called a workshop which is actually on literature, Beauty or the Beast?
Sound of Justin Bieber.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with him, but okay. Any other ideas? Why literature? Why Beauty or the Beast? Anything? Nothing? Okay, so... Okay, acceptable. I will then quickly explain, actually give you a hint. Will we have removed? No. Okay. So, throw it through an open window into a room full of language teachers, and most will die behind furniture, fingers in the ears, and looks of horror on their faces. So, does this actually give you any idea? I'm going to add one more. I'm taking this from a blog where language teachers have been writing. This one is new, I guess. I mean, the teacher is new. She or he, I don't know, wrote, how can I teach English literature in classroom? It's my first year in teaching English literature, poetry, novel, and drama. I need online classroom videos that last for about 30 minutes to help me engage my students effectively in the teaching process. So, I hate being traditional and boring, we all do, but at the same time, I want to help my students academically and want them to enjoy the teaching process at the same time. Please help me because I'll start my classes within 6 days from today. Thanks a lot. So, I was really sorry for this person actually because in 6 days he or she will be teaching and apparently she doesn't have any idea. So we don't want that to happen, otherwise the title reminds us that beauty is not acceptable, beast is the current one. So we don't want literature to look us like a beast. That's why I'd like you to have a piece of paper here. Before we move on with our task, I want to have a little brainstorming here. Could you please take, I want you to work in 2s or 3s, okay, according to your seating plan you can decide on this. 2s or 3s. Take A4 paper and then draw this table quickly, okay? Don't work on it too much. And I want you to think of literature to be integrated in ELT classrooms, and why would you use it? Why do we use it? What do we use it? Do we use something motivating or something difficult in terms of language? So, how do we actually use it? What would you do to use it in your classroom? And which forms? I mean, short stories, poems, what forms, okay? So think of it and negotiate with your partner or partners, okay? And you have like 3 or 4 minutes, please be quick. You don't have
You're working in groups, right?
in 3s or 2s, okay?
Which forms? Unusual, extremely unusual.
Just write whatever comes to your mind. It doesn't have to be perfect. You have 2 minutes left. Bir saniye.
My interesting foundation stories, poems, and dialogues. How, which forms?
One more minute.
Yine aynı muhabbet culture için de olabilir belki. Which forms?
Ne öğretebilirsin?
Okay. I would like to hear some of your ideas. Then we will look at some video talking about these issues, and we will check whether you actually have things in common. Okay. So, why do we use literature in the classroom?
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
It's lots of fun.
It makes students creative and it increases culture.
Okay, thank you. Creative, culture, and lots of fun. Yes. Any other ideas?
It's authentic.
It's authentic. Sorry? Different perspectives. Interesting. Yeah. Improves critical thinking. Critical thinking.
It makes students unable to act when they're
Perfect. Yeah. Contextual. Contextual. Okay. So, what do we use? What do we use as a literary text in our classroom? Do we use something motivating, something interactive? I mean, the features of it.
Something that students can relate to.
Yeah. They can find some common from their lives, right? Okay, yeah? Nothing. Nothing else? Okay, so we will see. How do we use literature in our classrooms? Any ideas from English language teachers? How do you use literature?
Like creative writing, maybe role playing.
Creative writing, role playing. We have it
Relating the work.
in the video. Okay, yeah? Discussions.
giving new identities, ideas to the student.
Okay, so role playing, kind of role playing. Okay, so it's more like the activities actually you have mentioned mostly focus on student-centered activities, right? You put students first instead of explaining things. And what forms? Short stories, novels.
Novella.
What else? that has been explained in the video that you have also mentioned, right? This is kind of like a summary of it. And now we will see what is the difference between literature with capital letter L and with small l. So most of us think that when we need to integrate literature to our classrooms, we need to like read Shakespeare, Dickens, Wordsworth, etc. So, but with with small l, we can actually integrate popular fiction, fables, songs, lyrics. So Macrae actually makes this concrete distinction, saying that you don't need to actually use literature with capital L, but you can use the small l in your classrooms. That's what you actually mentioned when I asked you what do you use in classroom. So the first task. Okay. Now I want you guys to, we will understand later on why I called it talking walls. Because we will first start with the walls, but till the end of the task we will be talking to the walls actually. So I want you guys to pick an element, okay, from the walls and go near to that element and with the leading questions on it, as you see there are some leading questions, try to figure out how you can fill out that element, okay? Because at the end of the task we will be creating a short story together. Just hypothetically filling in those elements together, okay? Look at the questions, and if you have any other questions, you can ask me. Please go near to that, any kind of theme, character, setting, conflict, anything, okay? Write and start writing. But take colorful pens from here. Please make pens.
Same thing, online.
Why are you doing this? Egypt will love me, don't do that. So you're writing
What are they? We're running ourselves.
Ya da aslında Merve ablanın dediği de güzeldi. Onu da bence Blue Ballet ne güzel.
basically you're just painting a license. That's it.
slide, okay? I appreciate you. On theme and conflict. You can actually move from that. Sometimes you can expand on you don't have to just make it as person. You're just asking you can add more. Here person you said at 1 a.m., right? And some other group later will be divided into groups and they don't want to use it. You don't give them any extra return. So you should have some extra choices. Head on, at night, or you can go up to revenge.
Return of the King Bey yaz.
Yok revenge.
Sonra 2 nokta koyup nasıl bilmiyorum. Okay, so 2 more minutes.
Don't feed the troll.
And with this color, just add something else that you can draw something on it. With this color, it will be more distinct.
Sesini yaptı. The next stage. Now you're going to walk around the classroom and you will look at the others, the other elements, and you will keep some info for your story, okay?
What did the others write? What can I use from them? Okay? Look around and get some info about other elements. For 2 minutes, just go around.
Sıcak bir oda değil. Oda gibi
Save the world. You are already 70. Your name is Chinese. It's actually.
Benim dediğim anladın mı? Böyle bilgisayarda
Adını biz koyalım. Bilemesin.
tamam. Evet. Berkay nerede bu kadar?
From each element, okay? So there will be one person from setting, one person from character, okay? So each character, because you will need the info from them, okay? Just form the groups together and sit down. conflicts. Do you have conflicts? No. Is there any other person from conflict group? Okay. Please join their group. Okay. Just like that, I want you to form another, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, okay? 4 groups together, but from the other groups as well. So talk to each other, because I cannot know who is in what group, okay? So, which you want? You can get
Tamam, onların da işte kendine ait hayatları var ama biz insan olarak yapıyoruz.
Hayır ya, o şekilde buna reddedelim. Yani sanki bir puanla insan gibi. Hani hayvanlar gibi yaşıyor.
Alright, now I want you guys to each group. I need one person to pick a photo, like okay? Okay, please, from each group, only one person I need. Come here and just pick your photo for your story.
I got it. Here you go. Are you sure? Fine, no problem.
Okay, now I'm going to read the instructions, Hey, I know you are having conversations, but yeah, now I want you guys to look at the plot diagram. As you see, there are stages of the plot diagram, okay? So next to them, there is just this little description of each part. Normally, with your students, you need to explain them further because they won't know what they are. But I want to do this here, as you know, all of them. So I want you guys to, by looking at, talking to the walls all the time, going near to the walls and picking an option, okay, for your story, just try to fill in each stage of the plot diagram with bullet points, not with sentences, okay? For instance, what happens in the resolution? What happens in the climax? There I gave you the climax, so I just have a boundary there. According to the climax, you are going to form the story, but picking some information from the walls, okay? Then later on, you will have the outline of your story, not with sentences, but with bullet points, okay? Okay, you have 5 minutes.
Ya bizde zorluk yaşıyor. Güzel şekilde her şey okey. Ama tema o kadar zevkli ki temadaki arkadaşımız çok zevkli. Bağdaşmıyor.
There's only one theme, right?
Bir tane daha var aslında. Düşleyebiliriz.
Sure. You can choose which one you want, or you can choose something else to find another creative. You don't have to be. I think maybe bu arada şey yapalım. Oh, you have chosen the bride. Okay. So you can start with the climax, then you can go down, okay? Maybe. It will be easier.
He's not getting older.
So your characters have supernatural powers, right? What are their powers?
Actually, they don't. One is not gets older. The other one is only jealous, I think.
Jealous.
Yes.
So what's the climax? What did you come up with?
Yeah, we haven't come to the point yet.
Okay, so you are not starting with the climax, but from the beginning.
No, like we are just deciding significant elements and everything, and then we continue with the climax.
So it takes in the forest, and it takes place in the forest, and the main boy
Peki Nine'nin amacını niye böyle bir şey?
Because she's jealous of Sally. Hadi bakalım. She's jealous of Sally.
Ama niye bir yerde oldu ya?
Ha, yok çünkü neden? Çünkü
Arthur'la Selin birbirinden aşık. Çünkü bahçede düşmüşler. Küpesini gördüm.
Thank you.
Beginning of
Okey ya. Ben işte
Hayır, burada Brave Guy var.
Brave Guy ama olabilir bence. İki kızım da ayrı.
Because Selena's keeping the thing was in her farm.
in the farm.
But from the evil. Then she's giving the fire.
Should I write that?
If you have an idea, it's possible to.
Okay, so he keeps the penguins
From her, from Nina.
in the farm. Ne kadar işkenceler, ne kadar olarak She saw the maid, the sister, and
Yeni sacrifice etmeliyiz. Buradan çıkabilmek için birini sacrifice etmemiz gerekiyor.
Nina.
Hepsini
Nina çıkartıyor.
ya da instruction'larda öyle.
Hayır ya bence instruction olmasın işte şey burada. Çünkü Nina onları oraya koymuş ya. Ama kendilerine baktırmak. Hayır. Bekleyenler gördük bir odada yani. Ne kadar memnun.
Guys, see his twins power. Yeah, not youth. His twins.
Hayır, işkence yapmış. Yo, Dr. Gashimans işte. Tamam.
Bizim için açıyor. Şimdi buna karar vermemiz lazım. Bunu saklıyor. Burayı açıyor ve bir bitiriyor falan var. Şey deniyor. Yine hepsi böyle kullanıyor. Hepsi böyle
That's the thing that I'm talking about.
Now we have two characters. Actually, let's start with the team. The team is to save the world, but in specific to save the penguins. Penguins. Yeah, penguins. So we have two characters.
Can the climax picture, please?
Picture is here.
Yeah, okay.
The fire. So we have two characters. One of them is evil, and the other is like kind of superhero, but not superhero. Just she loves a lot animals, and the evil is Nina, and the good character is Celine. So we said that Celine brings the penguins to the farm to keep from the evil people like Nina, and she has kind of, you know, eyes and deep freeze, like she's keeping the penguins in such cold conditions. And Nina chases Celine and finds her, and she starts the fire in the farm to kill the penguins and Celine to kill all of them. Then Celine fights with Nina in a harsh way while the farm is going to be, going to. Yeah. Then Nina kills Celine. She dies.
Okay.
Why did you know?
This is the resolution, I guess, right?
Yes, this resolution. Nina kills Celine, so the good character dies. But unexpectedly, the world becomes turns to ice because of global warming. Unexpectedly, then the penguins are saved.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. Yeah, next group. They were very professional, by the way.
This is the climax.
Yeah, could you please? Yeah, okay.
So, the setting is, hot summer in 1964. Hospital and the things happens in the hospital and the home. The theme is good are always winners. And conflict two sisters who fall in love with the same man. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. Okay, so in exposition, in the summer of 1964, the old man suddenly gets sick, and all the family gathers around him. And here is the first time when the young girl that I didn't mention about the characters. So we have a brave guy, old man, doctor, a young woman, and the maid. And here the young woman falls in love with the doctor. So it's the first time when she feels butterflies in the stomach. The rising action is when the young woman, she talks with the doctor, like how we can cure the old man. So the old man is the father of the young girl. And she talks with the doctor, and when the young woman girl travels to London to find, some pills that can cure the old man, in the last setting, they fall in love. And in the climax, when she comes back, so she's traveling by train, by the way. When she comes back, she sees that the maid is in a relationship with the doctor, and that's all. In falling action, before dying, the old man says to the young girl that the maid is actually your sister. Oh,
it's soap opera.
Yeah, and after that, she sees that the doctor wasn't suitable for her, and then that's the maid, in relationship with the doctor. And in the resolution, so we have the brave guy that I didn't mention. Okay, so seeing this, she's in a hard depression because the love of her life left her anyway. And here comes the brave guy that saves her, and they get in love and are in a new relationship. And the maid and the doctor, all of them is happy ever after.
All right. Yes. In exposition, we have for students, university students.
This is climax.
Okay, this is climax.
Okay, they're taking.
This is an
Part
accident.
to hospital.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We have for university students. They are medical students. They are studying medic, and two of them are sisters, and they fall in love with the doctor when they see the doctor.
So the sisters are falling in love with the same
Yeah.
man. Yes.
Yeah. And in rising action, they are walking. Actually, they are. One of them is walking in a crowded street, the sisters, and the other is coming with the car, and she hits her sister to get the doctor. And in the climax, you see there's an accident, and they took the girl to the hospital. And in falling action, the girl in the hospital lacks of kidney, and the wife of the doctor gives her the kidney.
Whoa. Okay.
And how they learn that the doctor is married. And then the other girl comes to her sister and says he is married, and they
lived happily ever after, and this means goods are always the winners.
Thank you. Okay. Yep.
So, okay. This is the climax picture.
Okay. Can you show it to the back, please? Yeah.
So, wedding ceremony. The bride is caged, yeah. The setting is wedding ceremony. The theme is betrayal, love. Characters are bridegroom and the best man. Best man is Savage. Okay. The conflict is man versus love. So in the exposition part, the bride and groom they meet each other. How can I say? They crush and they fell in love, loving at first sight, and they decide to marry. So in the rising action, they decide to marry, and in the wedding ceremony, the bride learns that that man is the sweetheart of her sister.
Oh, I guess.
And in the following action, she decides to marry that bride, decides to marry that man's, best man. A real conflict.
Oh.
And to take her revenge. And in the resolution part, the groom comes and shuts his best man. That's the end of the story.
Thank you so much. All right. Did you come up with this story?
There's nothing to do with
They were very eager to speak. So.
This is the climax, actually.
Could you show it? Yeah. Okay.
We have 4 characters: Ceren, Nina, Arthur, and Cedric. They are 4 friends, and they woke up in a red room, and no one knows anything, what happened, who brings them here, anything, except for Nina, actually. Nina is the bad one. Nina wants to be the leader of the group every time, but she couldn't do it. She wants to direct every member of the group. And Ceren is the good one, and she has a superpower, but Nina knows it. And in the room, she uses the red light to affect her superpowers. Ceren can't use the superpowers because of the red light. And they start to live here. They want to exit and go out, but no one knows anything. No one knows the road, actually. Their source is limited. And the red light starts to affect the Nina as well. And Nina forgot the exit. And in the climax, they decided to work together somehow to go out, and they aware that all of them look above. What?
Like how?
Like üstten bakıyor.
Like bird eye view. Bird eye view.
Yeah.
It goes through from.
Yeah. Each member of the group just look from the above to each other, so they couldn't see the summit. They couldn't see the what?
Sky. No.
Ceiling. So they realized that there's no ceiling of the room, and then they formed a temple, like human temple, and then they went out.
Yeah. That's okay. Extraordinary, but good. Thank you.
Friendship.
Yes. The last group. Yes.
First time.
Could you show it? Okay. Okay.
So we have 3 characters.
Yes. Again, Celine. No. Okay.
We have Dr. brave guy and young girl.
Well,
we forgot to use doctor in our story.
Okay.
So we have to. There's a brave guy and young girl, and they meet in a prison yard. And this prison is where like all the good people are imprisoned in there. And this is the exposition. They meet in the yard, and they're like very sad about the situation of the world, that all the good people are in prison and the bad are ruling the world. And they're in the rising action. They're planning to escape from the prison and save and set free the good people from all of the prisons. At the climax, the brave guy and young girl are trying to get into the room of the head of the prison, and get the keys of the wards. And they encounter with the principal there in the room. In the following action, they start to fight with the principal. They kind of like punch and stuff. And then like they tell him to sit down and we're going to talk with you and we're going to convince you about the situation. And they convince the principal, and principal at the resolution, principal cries a lot and decides to change his side to the good ones.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, the last group.
Okay, I'll keep this very simple and brief actually. So this is our climax picture. We have got two characters. Okay, a Deadpool, but not actually Deadpool. So what we thought is this story takes place in a parallel world. It's not taking place in this world. You want me to stand up, okay? As you can see from the picture, that we have got two characters, one young and the other one is masked. We call this other guy the old guy because he's getting older every day, and the other one is like young always. He has got the almost the power of immortality. So they're actually twins fighting each other to obtain a certain power, which is immortality. So this young guy is trying to defend his power against the old one, because the other one is getting older every day, so he's going to die eventually. And this one is trying to, you know, save up his power and trying to defend his power against the other one. But as it turns out, the young guy, the brave guy that we thought the main character, is actually the evil one. The good guy is the masked guy. He's getting older every day, and he's trying to not steal, but he's trying to get his power back so that, you know, he can gain immortality again, and he can stop his evil brother. As they are fighting to each other, actually, we thought, you know, one of them has to win and the other one has to lose, but then we thought, well, forget about it, and they both die. And this is the end of the story.
Thank you so much. Okay. Now, as the last step, I'd like you to choose a title for your story, and the climax picture is going to be the cover of your story, okay? Please discuss and find one title that explains everything. Mostly focusing on the theme, please. 2 minutes. Write your title on the cover page, please.
Once upon a time you Arkadaşlar hem hırslı, aynen hırs, passion, o da red yani. See?
Evet, daha çok ihanet yani.
Betrayal of love.
Betrayal.
Seriously serious.
It's your responsibility.
Okay, time is up. Okay. Yeah. Okay, time is up. Yep. Captain, your title, please.
Actually, we have one, but its name is burnout syndrome, but it's not.
Burnout syndrome.
Yeah, and it has the motto, it is better to burn out than to fade away.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yes?
We haven't decided yet, but like, you know nothing. You know nothing.
Nothing. Good. Thank you.
Enlightenment.
Enlightenment. Thank you. Yes?
Love kills.
Love kills. Okay. Yeah? Your red. Red. Okay. Yes? Yours?
Welcome to the other side.
Sorry?
Welcome to the other side.
Welcome to the other side. Perfect. Yes? Brothers. Brothers. Thank you. Alright. Now, for instance, here we haven't written the whole story together. We have just have an outline, okay? So, when you do this kind of task in your classroom, you can just assign a homework to home because they will have the outline of the story, right? They will be the author of their group's story because they know everything related to it, but every author's skills differ. So your vocabulary, your background changes the story, right? Even if the main events are the same. So they can go home and they can be the author of their own story. So this could be the homework. Yeah, but while assigning, you have to set some boundaries. Mostly you can give the word list to your students, like 8 or 10 words, okay? Related to, for instance, the farmhouse burning stuff. For that photo you can give like catastrophe, extinguish, make it through, kind of different type of words to your students which is related to the climax, right? So you expect them to use those words while writing their story. Okay, so what do the students are expected to learn in this class? They will learn what elements a short story has, as you say. They get to know what stages are involved in a plot, in the plot diagram, and they know how to write their own story at home, and then they will bring it to the teacher. And then they brainstorm and negotiate in the groups in the whole process. Now, since we don't have enough time to discuss everything and do everything here, you can just spend time on teaching the elements one by one, giving examples from movies, famous movies, etc. And you can teach them the plot diagram as well from a well-known story that you have read in the class. Otherwise, since I'm assuming that you all know this stuff, I don't explain it, but in the class it can turn it into a mess. So, this was supposed to be our second task. Since we don't have enough time, I'm skipping this. I'm just going to give you some ideas for the activities that you can do in class. These are not tasks, but activities. For instance, the periodic table of storytelling, you can use this in your class. It's actually very creative. As you see, you can remember it from the chemistry classes that you have taken. There are different chemicals here belonging to different groups. So each element represents something that belongs to a story. For instance, I've just taken some screenshot clothes. So they have the structure, setting, story modifiers, character modifiers, heroes, and villains. Okay, so you give, like here, you have all the elements, and then at the end, you have like famous movies and famous stories like Star Wars, Avatar, and Firefly, Wall-E, Ghostbusters, etc. So you give your students a molecule, right? Each molecule has a chemical. So they go to the periodic table, and then when you click on the story, only the elements that are supposed to be in the Star Wars are on, okay? So the others are off. So they go there and they look at this five-man band. So you have failed me. This is the theme, for instance. So you find the different categories from the molecule that is given to you by the teacher, and then you write your story according to your own molecule, right? So, and also there's something about this table, it's very interactive. When you click on one element, it takes you to the site explaining what that element means. For instance, if it's about, for instance, one of the character is like Mary Jane, for instance, when you click on it, it takes you to the site, so that you can gather some information about the character. This is a very colorful poster. This is just a representation of something that you can find on different sites. For instance, Pinterest has a lot of sources like this. They are both interactive, downloadable, free. Okay, so the teachers are sharing this. So you can use them instead of just giving them a lot of things to do. Just brief description, the name of it, and then, for instance, you can give a matching activity, etc. Or you can give a poster like this. In this poster, you have the term, and then the description, and a visual, and a specific example. Okay, so this is just a part of the poster. You can download the whole poster if you like. So this is actually a video from teachingchannel.org. So there are lots of videos, real world and real classroom applications. You can watch them and get some ideas for your own classes, because when you type the topic that you're searching for, it gives you the example videos. For instance, this is a reading workshop in kindergarten. We are not going to watch it, but I especially take the screenshot of this part because it shows you this pointer. They have this pointer with a sharp nail. These are very young kids, and they are learning how to read in English. So they have to like follow each word with this pointer, and they're working in partners, so that each partner can see on which word that kid is. For instance, if your partner cannot read yellow, you can see that she's pointing on that word, and you can help each other, kind of way. You can watch the video. It's the teacher also gives a lot of ideas. And this is a board game. I like this a lot because you can, even though you cannot play with this with young learners, you can play with the older ones. You can create this board easily, and you can read a story together. And then when you dissect, when you form groups and dice, use the dice. For instance, if it stops here, the person who rolls the dice answers the question and does the instruction here. Okay. For instance, when you roll the dice and it's 2, you tell your partner the 3 most important parts of the story, or 3 most difficult words in the story, and also you answer the questions. Okay? So you understand, it's a fun, and also you can understand whether your students understand the story or not. It's a comprehension activity. And this is Puppet and Puppeteer. I watched this on a workshop. This is also a while reading activity. For instance, in traditional classrooms, the teacher gives us the story and then we read quietly, or we read aloud together, but we never know that the other students are focusing on the story, or even if they seem like they understand, but they don't understand everything. So, for instance, you assign 3 students 3 different roles, and they come off the board. One of them is reading the story, the other is the puppet, and the next one is the puppeteer. I'm reading the story, and I'm not giving the instructions, but just reading the story. The puppeteer gives the instructions according to what he hears to the puppet, and puppet does as he says. Okay? For instance, the person who is reading, student 1, says that when the girl saw her boyfriend there, she was very upset. And the puppet gives the instruction that look upset, look down on the floor, and your eyes are on the floor, and you are bending a little bit, and then the puppet does exactly the same. So the students are watching and listening at the same time. So this is actually from a picture book. If you are interested in using any picture books, I can give you a lot of sources on this. These are, for instance, two different pictures from a same story. You can give just two different pictures and ask them to tell them that this is the beginning of the story and this is the end of the story. There is just little description under it telling that what happens there, and the students are expected to write a play looking at the beginning and the end of the story. You don't give anything else. You just say that, write a play according to what you saw at the beginning and at the end. That's it. You don't have to work hard for that activity. So for young learners, there's the hopscotch game. For instance, when you read a story together and you want to check whether they comprehend it or not, so you give them this very extraordinary advanced hopscotch area, or you can give a simple one to them. On it, there should be one question attached, for instance. When they started playing in groups, when they are on one part of the hopscotch, they answer the question that is attached to that area, and then, for instance, they clap, if it's written clap, or they whistle, for instance, and also they answer. If they does the activity correct, they group gain points, right? Okay, so this can be fun with the young learners, of course. These are the suggested online sources. I suggest you to use them for not just literature but also other resources as well. This is teachingenglish.org and press.com. Read, write, think. You can take a photo of it if you like. And teachers pay teachers. So there are lots of downloadable sources, videos, both in stories, poems, and a lot of genres, and also the other parts of teaching, reading, speaking, anything you want. So this is the suggested readings. If you are interested in reading more on literature, or if you'd like books with full of resources, they are there. So you can download most of them online on the internet. That's all. Thank you so much.